Hello, everyone, and welcome to What the Fiction. And this is our last deep dive show for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because it's now Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, you all missed it, but the end of every single show is. I never watch it beforehand. I went woo! I was hoping.
Oh well.
I'm always hoping for more.
Yeah, I might release like a supercut of all of the.
Oh, that'd be great.
All of the little short animations because, I really had a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna do more for Loki. I really enjoyed doing the little 8-bit animations. I'm not 100% sure. I did ask David, who did our intro for WandaVision, to do a new intro for Loki because it's going to be weird, and I wanted to, have something really, really cool for the whole thing. And so he's working on that right now. I've seen a rough draft, and we'll have that. We have lots.
You could do an 8-bit intro for the Segway.
Yes, I could do that. Yeah, we have lots of plans for Loki. And we have like a month and a half to work them out. Yeah. And we have some other things that are in the works too, and I'll probably announce them closer to June when Loki comes out. But make sure to like and subscribe, because then you'll come back for Loki and enjoy that. But next up for Kyle and I, outside of this show, before we get into the final episode, is going to be The Bad Batch. So Star Wars, their animated show. We don't know the length of it, but you and I, you think,
be angry.
Why are you going to be angry?
This isn't the way I like Star Wars to go. Right?
Oh no, your microphone is cutting out. Yes. Okay, we're going to try it out. Try again.
How about now?
Does it work?
Well, I'll keep talking, and then we'll see, and then I can always just flip the switch and check it again.
Your mic now is not working?
And now it's not working at all.
All right.
Okay, well, it's easy to fix.
Technical difficulties.
Flip the switch.
Am I going to flip the switch?
You should do it.
Okay.
Hello, I am back.
Yeah, we just made sure all the cords were good.
I literally did a little 360. It was delightful.
Yeah.
My hair flew in the wind.
Yes. Okay, so before we get started, I did have a few kind of announcements, which was Loki coming out on June 11th. So we'll be doing a Loki deep dive show for all 6 episodes of the first season, because 2 seasons have been announced. So that's cool.
I'm excited.
We're also going to cover the Black Widow movie that's going to be coming out. So that'll be cool. And over the course of May, Nat and I are going to be working on something which is primarily Asian media based, but we're going to be talking about it. So I'll announce that in a week or so, what we're going to be doing, etc. But I'm pretty excited to do something different. But in addition, for if you're missing Kyle and I, we're going to be talking about Bad Batch, and you're going to be angry, you said?
Well, this isn't the type of Star Wars I like. I do not like the war elements of Star Wars, and this is like all war all the time.
So there's Star, and then there's Wars.
And I like the Star.
Okay.
I'm not a Wars fan. I don't care so much about the Wars. I like the Star stuff.
I mean, you were a big fan of the Ninja Turtles, and this is just like Clone Force, Gretzky, the Great One.
I guess. I mean, if this goes the Ninja Turtles route, but the Ninja Turtles was all about their character dynamic and their interplay and their growth as teenagers.
Yeah.
They're not really teenagers. These are adults in quotation marks, right? So
yeah.
Anyway, we will talk about the Bad Batch when the Bad Batch happens. But today,
and that'll be over on What the Forest, not this channel.
It is a perfect time to talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But before that, Marie Clark got to do a bunch of announcements. I've got a great announcement too.
Oh my gosh!
This Wednesday, coming up, 4 days from now, the finale of my podcast's long-standing, over a year-long dungeon classic adventure, The Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan, ends. And the very next day, content begins to be released for a project that I've been working on for almost a year, with lots of art and amazing fun stuff in my podcast form. It is called The Rookies. It is Tavern Tales presents Masks.
Yep.
A New Generation, which is a role-playing game where you play teenage superheroes. And I take my stable of players who are all standby. Normally, they're normal Dungeons and Dragons players who've never really played many other systems other than Marie Claire, and they're all learning a new form, a new type of role-playing game as teenage superheroes. It is full of angst. It is full of struggling teenagers trying to figure out who they are and getting told time and again that's not who they should be. They need to be this other person, because this game is all about shifting your labels and telling people, you are not a superhero, or you are a superhero.
And like, my character's entire dynamic is about who I'm fighting with currently, and like a rival with, and who I love. And I base like my entire character is that, in addition to being like this very strong-hearted person. So
the game is all about the drama and interplay and growth of a character's a personality into adulthood, but also full of superhero hijinks and smashing things and having a good time. So please check it out. It's Tavern Tales wherever podcasts can be found, and it will begin starting on Thursday or Friday next week with the introduction of all those characters in podcast form.
Friday.
Yeah.
What's the regular release date going to be?
Regular release date will be Wednesdays, but we're doing an intro to each
you're
of the
doing
characters,
like a whole week,
the days leading up to it. So check it out wherever podcasts can be found.
And I'll tweet that out on my personal Twitter and everything like that too.
Like that. So I don't remember the date specifically, because I'm really trying to focus on Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan and getting that last.
Yeah, if you're into
episode
D&D, Tavern Tales is like so produced, and I am ridiculous in it. So if you want to see like a different version of me, you get
to see smart Marie Claire all the time. You should check out Tavern Tales, where you'll get to introduce to not smart Marie Claire.
I play a character called Florida Man.
You'd like to play a lot of dumb people.
Yeah, it's a good break.
They seem happy though.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
Now on to Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Okay,
the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay, yeah, but first we got to get our drink out.
Right, let's do it.
Drinks. Okay,
so
you bought my favorite beer.
I bought Marie Claire's
one of my favorite beers. Yes.
Favorite beer. It is Alexander Keith's India Pale Ale. We're doing
red
amber ale.
Red amber.
I don't really drink it.
We're not
for
sponsored by Alexander Keith's.
Okay, so this is
what we
picked up. It's Marie Claire's favorite, but we're doing Boilermakers today.
Oh no!
So unfortunately, there's two different ways that you can do a Boilermaker.
Okay.
This is a shot of whiskey. You can either drop the shot of whiskey into the Boilermaker, turning it into a depth charge, or you can do a normal Boilermaker drink, which is down the shot of whiskey and then sip your beer. What would you like to choose to do?
Which is better?
I've
never had it.
Hated both.
I've never had it inside the beer. I'm happy you brought me an extra beer.
Yes.
I took minimal notes today, so this could get really ridiculous. So celebrations for the end of this. I'm going to drop it in.
You do that. I'm going to do the shot because I don't like Crown Royal. I mean, this is Crown Royal whiskey. Anyway, so
okay, fine. I'll do the shot.
Chin chin, everyone. Here's to a delightful recap of the frenetic finale.
Yes, chin chin. All right, I'll do the shot too.
Well, that's not delicious.
It was fine. Now to drink beer. Beer.
There is a secret follow-up drink, though. Because I'm pointing out, like, we have been having discourse of bro drinks, buddy drinks. Let's go out and tie one on and get over that terrible thing that happened. Like, you got into an accident or you're getting a divorce or, basically I'm out consoling a buddy. That's how I kind of viewed this. And so without fail, after a late night Boilermaker, there is always one more shot that you take, that you do, because you're a bunch of dummies.
Is it tequila?
No, it is not.
I can't drink rum.
We're not drinking tequila or rum.
Okay.
Don't trust me. It'll happen later on. So feel free to grab a drink yourself or a quick shot, because we are going to do something towards the end of this episode. Almost a session.
Celebration of finishing Falcon.
In celebration of conclusion.
Yeah.
To finish off the night. And then we will stumble away.
Oh my God. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Oh,
hey,
tiger
Amanda,
beer.
Tiger. We still have one in the fridge. I like it. Marie Claire doesn't.
It's very hoppy.
It's so good after disc golf or sporting in the sun, though. It's just,
well, that's why we drank all that Heineken too.
So much Heineken.
We finished all that Heineken. All right. Let's get started. So this was episode 6. One World, One People.
One world.
Awkward pause. One people.
One people.
One people, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so let's dig in with overall thoughts first.
Sure. Ooh,
okay.
Overall thoughts. Let's talk about the overall thoughts of this episode and overall thoughts of the whole show.
You want to do overall thoughts of the whole show at the end?
Very end?
Yeah, let's do the end. Yeah.
This episode is convoluted, and the Flag Smashers' plan is dumb.
It's very dumb.
It does not seem like it's very well formulated, and it kind of just seems like, let's do things.
So
what things are we doing? Well, we'll figure that out.
Anything that was interrupted during COVID, I automatically give a pass to and just try to look for the good.
No, I'm not giving any passes. Not plot and structure wise. You should have figured that out.
They should have figured that out, yeah.
I don't make that much money, and I could have figured this out, so I don't see why they're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and they couldn't figure it out.
They definitely, so much like the rest of this show, like some of our good friends, people complaining about wokeness of this show, and yet some of our good friends are like, it didn't go far enough. You know, and I agree it could have pushed things a lot further, and it still struggled with what it was trying to say, with the variety of gray motivations. Like, they infantized Carly and yet they didn't, and then they killed her to set up Sharon as a really bad person, and yet like what are we supposed to feel by the end of this? I still don't know, other than Sam is awesome, Bucky is healing, and that's really what I'm walking away with.
Yeah.
Like,
that was what they set up our show for. And then MCU always includes additional characters, additional timeline, time pieces, and set pieces in order to push the story forward into another show, another season. The world is constantly building and growing. And they did a wonderful job with our A-list characters, right? Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is called, and they did a great job of developing them, pushing their story along, and having them and what I think this episode also did really well is a good, nice denouement. Like,
they give half the episode basically to, like, you know, hey, where are they going? It wasn't an after credit scene. They actually gave it space.
They gave it time and space for us to live with the decisions that they'd made and the growth that they'd achieved, rather than the climax, conclusion, done. They spent time with following up with all those different moments, and they didn't
forget about anything. Like, it was great.
I cried 3 times this episode. So how does that? It's fine. You're dead inside. Or just full of sand. And
I'm basically just a simulacrum human.
And I think that says that the journey that these two characters have been on was not only one of it's a catharsis moment, because we see the transition and the change in the characters and their development and growth, and we can feel that in our own lives, and we feel that for ourselves. And that's what catharsis is all about, right? It's not a moment of growth and development for the character. It's how we perceive that moment of growth and development. And I felt it. It felt genuinely earned. You spent just under 6 hours, and I felt those two characters got a really wonderful story. But everything else seemed
odd,
like
frosting
and fondant.
So there is a lot of talk about like how this didn't feel like enough episodes to do what they needed to do with all of the meta plot and all of the like they're like, I'm gonna peel back this rock of society and talk about it, and then like, oh my god, there's so much stuff to deal with, and then they didn't deal with it. So WandaVision being 9 episodes. Shorter episodes, but still 9.
Yep, half-hour sitcoms. I think the runtime is pretty comparable to this.
I mean, the first few episodes were like 22 minutes, and then it
half an hour.
Yeah, it got longer as the show went on. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the comparisons.
But if you take the first 6 episodes and say they are, they add up to that 45 or 50-minute mark, right? And then the last 3 episodes are that 50-minute mark. That is literally the same runtime as Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, no, you're right. But does it feel like this one just tried to do too much, whereas WandaVision was like centered around the town and Wanda's problems? And
WandaVision did a great job in the first 6 episodes, and then the last 3 episodes kind of peeled the rock back, and you saw the animals skittering around and not really knowing how the story was being played out. Yeah. So I think very comparably, they are the same, except you've got the first 6 episodes of WandaVision, which are probably some of the best television I've ever seen.
And IGN reported that Malcolm Spellman would be writing Captain America 4. So that's cool.
That just leads right in from this.
I assume.
I mean, how can it not be? We have Captain, like the end credits are. That's why there's no second season of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because there's no Falcon anymore.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's no Winter Soldier anymore. That's who he was, but not who he is.
I hope he goes by White Wolf going forward.
That'd be cool. I would like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I struggled with this episode because there was a lot of getting lost in darkly lit places. And I don't like that. And even the helicopter scene with Captain America.
The multiple helicopter scenes.
Multiple helicopter scenes, like, still was really dark, and I struggle when things are like overly dark and gritty, and just from a sight perspective.
Fair.
Yeah, so that's just my own thing. Like, I guess I'm blind and I need the brightness turned up on every screen or something. Exactly. But I took a shot of the warehouse that they're like, or like construction site that they're running around in. Yeah. Just before kind of the like climax of this particular episode, because you said you hated it so much. I'm like, I'm going to take a shot of that because they spent so much time.
Why?
Running around.
The setting is supposed to be a character unto itself, right? And while there is a couple of moments where Carly uses the scaffolding to her effect, and then Falcon uses the scaffolding to his good effect, there is really no character in this homogeneous, kind of smoky, cloudy.
Why is it cloudy? I don't know.
Bit of construction. Fine. Like they just set it all up, and it literally looks like where I would go to play paintball or laser tag. This looks like a laser tag set. Okay, so what I wanted to say about this before we move into the show itself is that the last 20 minutes I loved, and it felt like everything before that had built up to this, and it was perfect. It was just like that dessert at the end of a great meal where you still had room left, and then you got to eat that delicious, sweet, tasty, savory thing that you would remember for years to come. But the first 30 minutes, the last course of the meal, this was overly complicated and needlessly messy. And that's how I feel.
Like, I feel like the action itself was like well shot and choreographed, but it was like they didn't really know if it felt like they didn't really know like what point they were trying to make, except for Sam's speech, which we will get to. So we start out in, why does the GRC council chamber have this lighting?
Why? Who does this? I mean, I know, actually, to be honest, it's probably just smart lighting, because like everything's smart lighting nowadays. So it's very easy for them to be like, do you want us to be able to... Oh, you mean
like our Christmas lights?
Yeah. Just like, do you want us, like, this is the normal lighting. This is the like, and then if there's a red alert.
Somebody has like the switch that they can change it to Christmas or Easter.
Exactly, yeah. And because it's over Wi-Fi, the Flag Smashers got a hold of it.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, really, it's probably what they do on fancy.
Yeah. It's St. Patrick's Day. Oh, it's Valentine's Day.
It's totally an upsell.
Okay. They're like, we're international, and this is their brand of international.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Flag Smashers, because of Wi-Fi, got a hold of it. And we're like, we'll make it all red. And then they'll be like,
because we're red.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of the Sharon was already there reveal with the cool, I forget what the technology is called, but they've used it in both Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and in the MCU larger movies before.
What other movies have they done this in? I can't think of
So it was in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Nat actually pretended to be part of the sort of council that governs the shadowy council, and she was pretending to be the woman with the
dude. Yeah.
No, she was pretending to be the woman. Yeah,
talking to Pierce.
Yes, Pierce. Yeah,
and then it was like, haha, it's not me. Yeah, okay, okay, I remember that.
Yeah, and she takes off the thing, and then she's like, I was shot, but then she releases all of the secrets of Hydra to the web. And then, she had so
this is cool. I quite like this moment. I thought it was unnecessary though. Like suddenly Sharon's there and just like, you know what? Okay, I've used this cool tech and I'm going to reveal myself just to make it easier for everybody for the rest of the episode. Okay. I understand why we did that and where we're going with this now that I've seen the whole episode. And I'm like, it just could have been done better.
Yeah. I was fine with it. I don't know.
Yeah, the technology is cool, and I'm glad they've got it. They don't use it often enough.
She used it to pretend to be a
random
man from the streets of New York that was on the streets of New York.
I'm gonna call him Rando Man.
Rando Man.
And
okay.
He is a superhero of his own right. He collects garbage on Thursdays. It's not even his job, but he does it.
No, he's all about recycling. He wants to make sure that everything is being recycled. Yeah. It was like, oh, look, I have access to cool technology. One thing that they do is they light Carly, and this is just like a moment. We have a couple of moments before we get really any lines. They light Carly in this very like conflicted lighting, but then when she actually speaks, she's never conflicted, and we'll get into Kyle's rant. And a little bit of my rant. I'm upset about how Carly was done in this.
We'll get there. It's okay now, like, because they're showing her. She's slipping. She's slipping away. She's going to a dark place. Helmut Zemo has already said this is going to happen. Watch as it unfolds.
Yeah.
Blech.
Blech. But the reveal.
But then we get this.
Sam's reveal of his costume. I love his costume so much. It reminds me of the comics, and also it's got its like own cool thing going on.
Yep.
I loved his new costume.
It is so reminiscent to his Ultimates costume, which I don't know. I mean, we've got his Disney Infinity figure here, and you can see how many of the same tropes they've taken away here to put into this. I do love that this one's a V, and that they've really made look like wings. Yeah. Like, it's really wings.
Yeah, it definitely is like him as Captain America. I love it so much.
Yeah, he's Captain America. He's not this guy anymore, so goodbye!
Loki's now king on top.
Yeah, Loki's on top.
Loki, I don't think Loki's a top.
Yeah. Oh, they can't really see that because of the camera lighting. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved it, the reveal, and then we have Batroc show up, of course.
Oh my god, like, let's just include another character, because we said Batroc was going to be coming back, and when we showed him in France, now he's in New York, which is like, did he take the flight with Carly in the group?
No. Carly was already in New York City when Batroc showed up.
But they
were in Bryant Park.
In Bryant Park, yeah. That's right. So he showed up. This is fine. Yeah, okay.
No, Sharon took the flight with him. That's why she's there.
And he's like business class, not first class?
No, she's got a private jet.
Yeah. Oh, really? I mean, she's power broker. She should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I've been saying all along. Like,
well, we've been saying all along.
All along.
But like, they've set her up as power broker.
Agatha all along. Power broker all along.
Yes. I did like this line, the robes don't make the monk. It's like, why would anybody who isn't a monk wear robes?
Huh. I mean, they would.
They're annoying and like
well,
why?
I think what he's trying to say is just because you're dressed like Captain America doesn't mean you're Captain America.
I get it.
Yeah. It was really a throwaway line. You had to be highlighted because he says it in French.
I didn't have closed captioning on when I captured this, and they translated
they
it.
Translate underneath,
and they don't always translate his French.
Mm-hmm.
And they translated this, so they really wanted to make sure you understood that he was dissing the costume.
Yeah. I'm glad he's Jesse says that Batroc is so cool in the comics. I'm glad he's an idiot. We need more idiot bad guys.
You're easily defeated. Go away.
Yeah. However, he's not that easily defeated.
I know.
As our next slide shows.
Well, first there's this.
The conversation. Why?
Yeah.
What is this about? This is just running on the runtime.
No, I know. But the most important moment is actually that it's like random person in the GRC who has cell phone. How old am I? Cell phone is part of the Flag Smashers, One World, One People, belief structure, and hands Bucky her cell phone, which, I don't know about you, I don't even hand my cell phone to you ever.
No.
That's how strong this belief structure is, that they would be willing to hand off their phone permanently, because Bucky's not coming back with that phone.
So my question is this a plan from the get-go, or did just Carly call that lady and be like, Bucky's gonna walk by you, give him your phone, and she's like, yes, my lord? I don't
know.
So I have some problems. I already talked about how the Flag Smashers plan is convoluted. I have some problems with the Flag Smashers overall, and if this sort of group is this united, they don't even really need Carly as their leader.
No, but she says that.
They never really... Carly says it.
Yeah.
But they never really demonstrate that. Everything that's happening in the show is led by Carly, and it's almost like to say Carly is the problem. But at the same time, we see Carly in a sympathetic light for so many of the episodes, because we kind of see her plea and her plight as being realistic, and that all of these millions of people are on her side in regards to this.
Yes. And they never really deal with the core problem.
They don't really, and the consequences of establishing this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's... I don't know.
Frustrated by that.
But I think the most important thing is to say that there isn't an end to the Flag Smashers. They're still going to be around. That's definitely going to be a thing.
You can't get rid of a movement.
No, and now Carly's become, a martyr, which is what she also saw herself as already, which is also very dangerous, as all fiction has told us always, that you don't want to create a martyr out of these situations, which... in the end, Sharon ends up doing, right? Bucky walks away with her phone. So if that was her phone, that was the sacrifice she was willing to make. And I wouldn't have made that sacrifice. I'm very possessive of my cell phone.
That's what he gets access to send codes later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then he hacks hacks the phone, because what does he plug my arm into it? I don't understand. But I think he uses that phone to set a false... a preamble in the very end of it.
Right.
So this scene, okay, I'll give it a pass now, because this scene establishes why Bucky's able to control the Flag Smashers later, because he kept the phone.
Oh yeah, he kept the phone, which, okay, so this is somebody who had a Flag Smashers phone?
Yeah, this is a Flag Smasher. Well, she has access to the app and has some degree of power.
She's like a mod on the Flag Smashers forums.
Discord, yes. Yeah. And he's able to then send things as that moderator, and everybody believes it because they think it's coming from her. Silly on their part, isn't it? Okay, but nonetheless, it still establishes that this scene has relevance to the later stuff. Because otherwise, all it does is say things that we've already heard from Carly before, and already things we've heard from Bucky before. And then it's a delay tactic. But we don't need a delay tactic in a 50-minute TV show. Move the plot forward, and this didn't do any of that, except... he has the phone, and that wasn't the highlight moment of the shot.
Yeah,
you had to really think about that.
You said this was super grainy, so I'm going to make it big. But
good idea.
So this is Sharon wandering through the darkened basement of the GRC, which is red lit everywhere. I'm very impressed by their environmental lighting, and she puts an acid like grenade or bomb or something into the what's this dude's name?
Lennox.
Lennox?
So this is Lennox.
That's
and
his
he is a
name?
flag smasher. He is a named character
Okay.
by Carly. His name is said 3 times in this episode. So Lennox is relevant because he is either working for the New York Police Department or he is working in security for the GRC. He's an insider, much like that lady was. So it doesn't matter. Like anyone you talk to I'm looking at the camera, but you can't see me. Anyone you talk to could very easily be a flag smasher, and you don't know that. You don't know their allegiance, and that's what the flag smashers are all about. Lennox is a bad guy, and he has locked those people, those GRC counselors and important people into their things. So we know he bad guy, but he's also really kind of lumbering and slow when he sets it up, takes it, I gotta get it, locks it in right just to...
Yeah.
And they make a big deal about these locks.
Well, the locks that lock the police, like...
To lock the NYPD.
Like paddy wagons?
Which is the GRC's backup plan. So are those paddy wagons always there? Or did they arrive?
No, they arrived. I mean, everybody was stressed out about the GRC, though, so they arrived and they took them over.
Yeah, they took them over and then they're like, execute the plan to get out of here. And then
Sharon commits, like, a war crime.
Yes, she does. Yeah, she literally does.
This is a war crime.
She mustard gases this guy to kill him. This is the first death of this show.
Melting. Oh, are we doing death count now, or are we going to do it? Let's do it later.
She initiates the first death of the show. So let's put a 1 up there. Sharon has killed someone because he dies. He face melts off as he slumps forward and drives into the embankment.
Very extreme. And what? Sharon, what? I mean, we knew she was power broker, but wow. I guess we know.
The things she's had to do over the last 5 years.
I know. She has access to a lot of biological weapons, apparently.
Yeah.
So
and
there
all
you go.
Lennox knew was that he had to lock those people in. That was his job. This is part of why the Flag Smasher's plan is so convoluted, because he would have had to have those locks in his possession and then be responsible and in the position to then be the last person to lock them in.
You're making this tissue paper. It's tissue paper plot. Shh.
What a plan. What all of the things that could go wrong. Like those... anyway,
it was definitely to show how evil Sharon had become. Give me Bucky on a bike any day.
What happened to Chair versus Shield? Did the Batroc fight already happen?
No, it happens later.
Really?
Yes, they cut back.
Literally the next line.
They cut back and forth so much.
Yeah. Well, everybody's everywhere, and there's all these things happening. Yeah, and now it's Bucky's turn on a motorcycle.
Bucky's on a bike because he can't fly.
Yeah. Where did he get this motorcycle?
He stole it from the garage.
He can hotwire a motorcycle?
I guess so.
Maybe it was I guess we didn't get to see the scene where he pushes the guy off the motorcycle after he's already started and put the key in the ignition, and he's like, ha! And then he rides a motorcycle. I loved this moment, though. I wanted to add to death count 1 motorcycle because he really F's this motorcycle up. Oh my God.
So, there's this whole thing where he steals a motorcycle in
Captain America
Civil War.
Yeah.
And I was like, yay, I get to see him on a motorcycle again. I just loved it. Yep. I don't care. I don't care how he got the motorcycle. Yay.
Yeah.
Chair versus Shield.
No, here it is. Yes. I did like that moment though where he goes forward on the thing and then he goes over and and you can actually see the motorcycle flip himself.
I don't have a picture of that.
It's so good.
But he launches he used his head literally, not figuratively.
Yes. I really want to make a rock paper scissors game called Chair Shield something else. Chair beats Shield. Sorry.
Chair beats
Shield. Throw the shield at you and I kick a chair at it.
Yeah.
Nobody's really done that yet.
I like this fight, except that it was all in red, and if you were red-green colorblind, I don't know how it would play out. It was very red.
It's a strange lighting choice. I've been really happy with the lighting choices that they made. And the other thing that they're doing very clearly is they are avoiding any orange or teal.
Oh, yeah, no to orange and teal.
No to orange and teal. And we will do our own color schemes. And this is the red fight.
This is the red fight. Yeah.
It's a good fight. I love the end of this fight more than anything.
Yeah, he just he's like, I can't deal with you. You're useless. Stop delaying me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Chair versus Shield, we can only do paper or rock.
paper, rock, and then this
Yeah.
rock is
chair and paper is...
Well, then no one will win that over time. It's just 50-50.
No, you're right.
Literally, rock always loses.
You're right. I was like, we should play chair versus
Yeah, there needs to be some other element. We'll find that out in Captain America 4 when we learn what beats chair.
What beats chair? And what shield beats?
Shield beats everything but chair.
Okay.
Anyway, so moving forward, this was a fun fight, and really showed off new Captain America's moves.
Yeah.
Not to the extent that the next fight does, so it kind of felt unnecessary.
I did love him launching,
throwing the shield,
and then getting. Oh, so good, so good. I cheer every time that Anthony Mackie and, as Sam Wilson being Captain America does something cool. It makes me so happy. So happy. Loved it.
This whole next scene, helicopter, him flying, is just amazing.
Yeah, I didn't have, because it goes back and forth where he's like flying, like they cut back and forth so much, but the next sort of major like talky moment was Carly trying to convince the Flag Smashers to outright become straight up murderers. And she has this like speech where she talks about like what this is all, and that they'll outlive this because
all things she said before.
Yeah,
nothing new,
except
for the hesitation.
Yeah, one world awkward pause.
One world.
One people.
You guys even with me anymore?
Whoa.
Not really. I mean,
it
seems like you've gone a dark path, haven't you?
Is this the time for the rant?
I don't know if it is or isn't time for the rant yet.
I mean, I think it is time for the rant, because this is what they're trying to show us, which is what they did to Daenerys Targaryen in...
Took my line.
I'm setting you up. I want you to rant. We've already talked about this, so we don't normally talk, but we did talk. So
I told Marie Claire, I watched this episode, and then afterwards I said they Daenerys Targaryen. Mm-hmm. Literally, they then used this episode and the previous episode to set us up with the, it's good that she's going to die, because a smaller, petite woman, they can't have power and keep it. They don't know what they're doing with it. They'll make bad choices and they'll be poor at it. And therefore, you should be okay. They should die because they're gonna be corrupted by the power that a person like Sam would not be corrupted by, or a person like whatever his name is. He's got beautiful hair.
Jon Snow?
Jon Snow.
Oh.
Jon Snow and Sam, they can deal with the power, and they will do the right things, make the right choices. But the ladies, this is not bad choice. And I was so infuriated that they kept doing this. And I don't even know if it's a conscious choice, but Carly obviously is looked up to by all these people and has been put into the role of leadership. And it's not like she's going to go crazy. But yet again, they do this. She's going crazy. She's mad with power. Helmut Zemo says this over and over again, just to stab you and punch you in the gut with it.
And it's true because a man says it.
Yes, it has to be true. She can't be trusted with power. She's a super soldier, or she's a Targaryen, and they're all gonna go insane. No, she wasn't going insane. She did the things that she needed to do in the way that she needed to do them, and then they moved the plot forward in such a way to say, you know what? Yeah, this person needs to die. She just shot Sharon Carter in the stomach. How dare she? You know what? I don't think she would have made that choice, and I'm not happy with the way that they've pushed this character story in this way. Carly Morgenthau is a hero. Carly Morgenthau was standing up for people who could not, and she was put in a position where they were like, you know what? You're mentally unstable and therefore need to be put down.
Yeah. And
if I see another show like this, I will be... I don't know where I'm going to go with that. I'll be even angrier, I guess. But I'm already fed up with it. I'm already tired of it.
This is women can't handle power trope. It's
pathetic.
It's really stupid, yeah. Especially when they're trying to help people who have...
They've already shown Sharon Carter has power. That makes her bad.
Yeah. Come
on.
Yeah, and it was questionable what they did with Wanda as well.
Yep,
Right?
absolutely. Similarly.
So, like, I'm not not a fan. And I do think that we need to talk about it, how women are perceived as being incompetent with power, or being crazy with power, or not able to handle their emotions with power, and that is just not the case.
You know what would have made a better U.S. agent? Carly Morgenthau.
Yeah, except she had a British accent, and then
Who cares?
Yeah, I know.
Carly Morgenthau would have been a better U.S. agent moving the story forward than John, I didn't actually get redemption arc, but guess what? I'm redeemed anyway, Walker. I am so frustrated and irritated by this, and I do not wish to see any John Walker, Wyatt Russell-led productions. He is not a hero. He's not even an anti-hero, and I don't know why you included him in the finale. He got he's making a shield. You know what? He's pathetic. He's weak, and I don't need to see him because I don't want to put more arrogant, always right white men in power.
Yeah, well, Wyatt Russell did a good job of the role that he was paid to do, but like we don't need to see him more.
Give me Carly Morgenthau as U.S. agent. How was that wrong?
I don't know.
She was the right person in the end. They adhered to her wishes, and they did not, and they stood down their troops.
I mean, we're going to get into this in a bit about sacrifices being made for stuff, and it's just like a really tired trope at this point, because we have people who are making sacrifices. They don't want to freaking die. They don't want to die for this shit. Like,
exactly.
Sorry.
I'm just...
Yeah.
I was really fed up when she made the statement, one world, and then all of her people, you know what, we don't like the direction you're going, Carly. This is wrong.
We don't like the
t-shirts. Say that.
Yeah, that's weird.
They'll just be like, one people. You're her fellow super soldiers. You're all equals in her eyes.
Yeah.
If you had said, we don't like the path you're going, and then had maybe had the bit of a debate, like...
They wouldn't have just like... It seemed like she was a person that listened to people previously because they had discussions. Yeah. And then suddenly they were like, we really can't bring up this minor technicality of like murdering people. We just don't really want to do that. They kind of brought it up, and then we're like, oh no, you're going to extreme. And so we're going to be like, no, I don't know.
What does this say for the Flag Smashers going forward? And I just... It's such weird choices in regards to Carly this entire episode. But you know what? Great choices in regards to Sam.
Yeah.
And this is a highlight moment that will stand out for all time for me.
Like, I want a print of this moment. It's so cool.
I can't believe you captured that.
I know.
Like, that is one frame. It was so fast.
I'm going to just like...
This is gorgeous. Like the whole Sam helicopter thing, it shows how much of a leader he is. It shows how much he thinks ahead of time. And I have it wasn't clearly articulated.
Oh, I'm going to have another beer.
But, maybe hold off. Yeah, no, start your beer, but don't finish it. Because you'll want a chaser.
Okay.
Sam has Red Wing. But as we saw in this, he's got two. I think he has 3 little drone helpers. I think he has
so much head.
Red, white, and blue wing. I literally think it's red wing, white wing, and blue wing because he is the red, white, and blue.
Oh.
I think he has 3 drone helpers, and those are their names, and I'm calling it right here.
I would love that.
Yeah. And I think that their coloration matches, and I just love that there's 3 of them. So awesome.
God, I love the symbolism of his wings. I'm a sucker for propaganda, apparently. Because there's wings associated with the US coming to save the day, and like the US Air Force, the American Eagle, like all of that stuff. I'm fine with it right now.
Yeah, I don't know why he needs the shield because the wings are his shield, but I get that he has the shield because that's the symbol of Captain America. Mm-hmm. He is a shield for people. And here he it's like in 300 when they put their shields together, he uses his wings and the shield on top. It's gorgeous.
Well, and the shield is on top, which is so cool. And like he's protecting the one spot that the shield, so good.
It's brilliant.
So good. Yeah.
Really well done.
And they're like made out of I assume vibranium, so they're
guess.
extra like careful, like extra awesome. So he's like super protected.
Yep. This is brilliant, and it's so good because everyone applauds and cheers afterwards. And I wanted to applaud and cheer afterwards.
Like the people on the bridge were like,
"Yeah, you go, Captain America!"
How did they know that was?
Yeah, they knew it. They knew it because they saw the shield, and he's wearing the red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
right. He's not wearing that's Black Falcon.
Yeah,
which comes later, and I love that moment too.
And then we get this, like, this was Carly's plan was to blow up the trucks full of GRC people to make the vote not happen, which already didn't happen.
I don't think she's gonna blow them up.
Well, they start
doing that in order to get Bucky to go save them. They're like, he's a hero. He needs to have people in danger, and then we can get away. Because we already had one. We had 2 trucks. We only need 1.
They just want to get away?
I don't know. I don't know why they want those GRC senators and councilors. Maybe they just want to like take them back somewhere and be like, look, here's our case. But I don't think that's the case. I don't Again, their plan is so convoluted, and I don't know what their end goal is in regards to it. Like, it makes limited sense. It just gives us opportunities for heroism later on,
it draws Bucky in to be able to like try to fight and struggle these people out, and then he gets thanks out of it, which was really wonderful. And like we get to see the cool arm and like the cool effect where its arm is like struggling a lot. Like so good. I love it.
So any bad guy's plot cannot be analyzed except in relation to the hero's efforts to save the day, I guess is what it is. We can't really look at why the Flag Smashers are doing what they're doing right now, because the why of it doesn't matter if it sets up the what of the superhero's resolution, right? And I think that's bad storytelling.
I'm drinking.
It's such bad storytelling.
I'm not happy with like the motivation of the Flag Smashers, because
I mean, like, the motivation's great, like overall.
No. But in the moment, it seems like not. I mean, okay.
I'm sad.
And then we get the confrontation with.
Oh my God! Now we have this because we didn't even John Walker's arrival. Like, I'm here too.
Carly, why did you kill my friend? She's like, he wasn't important. I really hate killing unimportant people.
Was it that she was saying that Lemar was unimportant, or like you're unimportant?
No, Lemar.
Because it kind of felt like she's saying like this isn't really relevant to me.
She was saying both, I think. Yeah. So she's like I really hate killing unimportant people.
I would have preferred a scene where he's just like sitting at home crying drunk and his wife is on the phone with a friend. Like he's drinking his Johnny Walker Blue, because why wouldn't he drink Johnny Walker? His name is Johnny Walker. That's probably what he drinks. And he's probably drinking some expensive brand of Johnny Walker, so Blue Label. And then his wife is in the other room like, I just don't know what to do with him. That would have made better sense than this.
But now he's shown up and it's super awkward because the people...
I hate the buddy moment that he has with Bucky.
The people that hate him the most are like friendly with him. And yet like Carly's like I belittle your whole deal. Like she does get some jabs. It's like, I really hate killing unimportant people. Like that was good. But
I'm so tired of him.
It's hard.
Kudos to Wyatt Russell. You did such a great job, especially the like
his twitches.
The twitch, like I want to do this and I'm not gonna do it. Moments.
Like he tries to be a good person. Good job trying.
Can we move on?
Yeah. Okay. And then
this is awesome.
Bucky gets kicked by Curly because she kicks his ass like all the time.
Yep.
Kicks by Bucky, and we get the cool like scrape like cat nails on like we saw this. We saw a few,
like a superhero arm on concrete.
Yeah, like a superhero arm on concrete. And then it goes over the edge, but he superhero lands.
Oh, it's so great. The fist to the ground, knee, leg. Oh, it's such a
Bucky,
great.
You're a
bam!
superhero.
He is, and I think that that's one of the things that we needed to get to in this show is the revelation that he is not the villain that he was made out to be. Mm-hmm. He has the potential to become a hero,
and it's reinforced by the people in the crowd like thanking him, and later on the moment where he gets called Sergeant Barnes.
No, that is the first thing that people say to him in the entire episode is Sergeant Barnes. As he passes by the two cops, GRC and whatever they are, they're like Sergeant Barnes, and that I loved. I think that was really important as a subtle moment to say he's already there, guys. He's already a hero.
He just doesn't see himself that way. Yeah.
He doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
Everybody else has gotten there. And then we see that at the end of the show, and we're getting there. And that was one of the moments that really choked me up because Bucky Barnes is a great symbol for redemption.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is that these weren't choices that he made. And I really want to see that with a hero who has made, a person who has made the bad choices. Mm-hmm. And they are still given the opportunity to redeem themselves to become a good person. Because we talk about this all the time in real life, especially with our kids, that even if you make a bad choice today, that shouldn't color your opportunity to make a good choice tomorrow.
Absolutely. And it's something that like we would love to see living redemption or restorative justice in fiction. But it seems like North American media is just not ready to get there yet. But if you're out there and you're listening to this podcast / live stream show, please write it.
Yes. Please, let's get to the point where people can make bad decisions earlier in the show and have their redemption and still live at the end of it. Like, this is how the world works. This is why we put people in prison for a long time.
Prison doesn't work.
Prison doesn't work anyway. But
you know what works? Reading programs.
Yeah. You know what also works? Giving people media to show that you can, even if you made a bad choice today, that doesn't mean that you can't make the good choice tomorrow and not be held. And even if you're held accountable and you redeem yourself for the bad decision, you still are able to move forward in society as a full standing individual because you've taken ownership and responsibility for the thing.
Wait, are you talking about hope?
I guess so. I don't even think it's called hope. I just think it's called moving on. But let's move on. Superhero landings are great and show that they themselves also recognize themselves as heroes now.
Whole helicopter rescue.
This is brilliant.
I loved it.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
because
it shows
he is a leader of men. And women and people
and he's very like, hey, can anybody fly a helicopter? I have a plan. And then he's like, because this is a helicopter full of GRC people.
What are our options here?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's just brilliant. He uses modern day technology and like search algorithms and face recognition to help him make a plan to move forward with what his options are. And somebody can fly a helicopter. Okay, cool. This is the plan I've got. And it's such a cool moment. Also, the moment we kind of only touched on it where Red Wing shoots a grappling hook onto the guy and hauls him out. And then he saves the other guy. Red Wing deserves a hero moment too.
Red Wing is just technology.
Yes.
So,
anyway,
the bird doesn't get thanks.
These helicopter moments are just delightful, and I can't wait for Captain America 4 to see even more aerial thematic theatrics.
Yeah, I love when we get an opportunity to see Captain America in action.
Yeah, absolutely.
This cool. Like it's just a brief, like I had to really freeze frame it to get this moment, but I really loved this like Flag Smasher versus John Walker. But what does it matter? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, it didn't matter, did it?
You know, it was really cool with the fire in the background and like, but like I have no empathy for John Walker. I don't believe
I didn't even want him there.
I don't, and Carly, I'm like, just kick his ass, Carly, and go and get your way and get away. I want you to live.
If you love this moment, what did you love about it? Because I didn't think it was necessary. And then we're allowed to see John Walker make the witty quip of Lincoln's quote, which is like, what? And then Bucky's like
cool with it
and claps him on the back. Like and
like John tries to save the heavily armored. Like, this is like military grade stuff that the police have, which I know exists in the US.
They do. That's the thing. I do like John Walker's attempt to save.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was
that
fine.
I got.
Yeah.
I just wish kind of he'd arrived then and be like, oh, no. And he runs for it. Like,
And he tries to do the right thing. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it has to be Captain America.
Which is so weird. He is not a superhero. If you have a 3-ton vehicle falling and he has a jetpack on his back, that's just going to smush his shoulders and break bones.
No, but his whole suit is cool.
Oh, it's the whole suit. But that isn't the case when we saw what was going on with Batroc. So it seemed weird, and I just worried for him. I worried for my flyboy. I worried for my little angel to not get hurt while he tried to shoulder the burden of a 3-ton truck.
Do angels have hollow bones so that they can fly?
Well, the mutant angel does. He has hollow bones.
Yes.
Like a bird.
Like a
but
bird.
This we can chalk this up to he has a Black Panther style suit that absorbs the energy with the vibranium and whatnot.
I assume,
okay.
and like he's got
I'll
like
accept it.
Equivalent of Iron Man's repulsor, like
also we got to see
and
White
stuff.
Wing come out and whichever the other one was and latch on and be part of it. That was just really cool moment, really cool breathtaking.
It's very
scene.
dark.
It's too
Again,
dark though.
I'm gonna complain.
Stop doing things at night.
It was hard. I can't see it.
Why couldn't this have happened during the day?
I don't even know if I took the right screenshot.
Why would the GRC meet at night? Like, these are people who are like classic politicians who only rarely ever go into session in the evening. The session would have been like, it's been a filibuster session, sir. It's been going on for 12 hours. That's the sort of thing. These people have day jobs where they're like, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. We should be done by now, because that's how our politicians work.
I gotta get lunch.
Yeah, we should be.
I have low.
Can
Like,
we
if I
take
get
a half-hour break here? I need to use the washroom, and I got a lot of email to resolve because I got more fundraising to do.
Yeah, I gotta go to that secret building where they do all the fundraising calls. Yeah, because that senator is everywhere, right?
I hate that. What? Why couldn't they? You know what they should have done?
What?
Made him the vice president, and it would have made more sense that he was doing all of these things.
Yes.
If he'd just been the vice president, I could have understand him interring the shield in the museum. I could have seen him, being responsible for the one who lays down the law on John Walker. I could have seen that if he was the vice president.
Winter, there would be more snow. People are like, maybe it's winter. I'm like, no, there'd be more snow in New York City. Yeah, fair. But then we get this like, okay, so Sam saves the day. And we get does this
go Black Falcon? I love that guy.
Yeah.
And then the guy next to him and this lady on the side, I'm just like, she is having a ball. She's like, you got this. I just love the lady on the left.
Like,
or the right for you. I don't know how.
Like, I loved it, but also like, did it feel a little too like, oh, this is how the audience is supposed to feel moment?
I was fine with it. I loved it because like it's also showing that people are shifting their labels for
in
Falcon.
Universe.
He is not Falcon. He's not even Black Falcon. He's Captain America. And people are recognizing that, and they're taking joy in that. They're seeing themselves embodied and emblazoned as the representative of the United States by that. And this is joyful stuff to watch.
Okay.
I don't see it, but all right.
No. I felt it with Isaiah personally, but this felt a little like, weird.
It is
yeah.
weird. It is also interesting to note that this is all still happening before Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh my god, it is?
It is.
What?
Yeah. No, Spider-Man Far From Home hasn't even happened yet.
Because, that was like a major event because then they were like, oh, there's attacks all over the city or all over the world by this like weird like elemental force. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to relook at the timeline at some point and before
it's messed up.
Like I don't and like what is Loki gonna do to us? I don't know. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. Enter random maze like building.
What? Why? Okay, sure, whatever. You know what? I'm just gonna bet my expectations here, and my linear logical brain will take a side seat for everything that is behind, temporary construction curtains, because obviously this must have been, we're in COVID, we need to figure this out, and everyone who's on the other side of the camera needs to be behind these curtains.
Yeah, we give a lot.
It's a pandemic.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone getting infected, especially our stars, because if they have COVID, they can't interact with anybody else. So let's put everyone in medical tents and resolve things.
I feel like that's part of this a little bit. So this gets a pass, even though it was like, what?
Yeah. My problem is the dialogue here, though, I didn't like, because I'm like the power broker reveal just seems slow. It should have been like immediate.
Yeah.
It should have been like, power broker?
Yeah.
And Sharon's like, yeah, Carly, I'm not impressed with what you're doing.
She knew, right? Yeah. Carly knew. So like the power broker reveal, we were like, oh, finally.
Yeah. It just took forever for people to finally say it. And then Batrock's like, ha! I have known what the power broker is now, and I will charge you 4 times more because I know your identity. Ho ho, I am French.
Why are you French?
Because Batrock is French.
Oh, okay, you're a Batrock. Yeah, and then we get this thing like you hired Batrock? Like who else hired Batrock?
Yeah. Batrock is, I just realized, he's a classic French villain of the Snidely Whiplash style. He just doesn't say those words.
Snidely Whiplash isn't French.
But he should have been.
He's got your mustache.
I know.
I'm like resting against my glass.
I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
It all boils down. There's 2 guns, right?
Yeah.
Like Carly's got a gun. Sharon's got a gun. Batrock's got a French grin. I got the drop on you.
Why did he show up?
Because he could, and he also needs to say you are the power broker. Ha-ha! And how about the creme brulee? So he shows up. And
escargot,
and it just makes the tension between Carly and Sharon that much more relevant. But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Carly shoot Sharon in that moment? She knew that Power Broker had just turned on her. She spoke French too. If he was even speaking en français, then he would have understood.
You mean Batrock?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Why did Carly shoot Sharon with Batrock there when she could have shot Batrock? Why did she shoot Sharon in the gut?
Well, because I think she didn't want Sharon to, because she knows that Sharon is the power broker.
Yeah. But she sees that Sharon is trained on Batrock and is focused on Batrock. You know what? I don't respond to threats. Shoots Batrock. And in that moment, Carly shoots Sharon, and it seems like a strange...
I think people appreciate your French accent.
Trust me, I do enough French accents.
No, are you gonna do the full? Because your French accent sounds like the chef from Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
Zut alors, I have missed one. Yeah, is that what you're looking for?
Surprise! What is this? What is
how on earth could I miss? Shut up, sweet, little succulent clap. I am a little drunk. Quel dommage, what the loss? Yeah, that's really how I feel. That's really how I feel in this moment. Quel dommage, what a loss. Carly's in the sauce.
Yeah.
Like it just bam. And Carly, Carly shoots Sharon. Sharon shoots Batrock. Sharon now kills her second 2 people have died, both by Sharon.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to feel like, oh good, Batrock is finally out of the picture.
I don't feel that way. He's awesome. He's awesome and terrible.
I mean, why? I didn't understand that piece. And I don't understand this.
Oh, they think your
scene.
Your French accent is Monty Python-esque.
That's really funny how that is. Yeah.
I love it.
You're lousy. Your mother smells of elderberries.
You've got to sign off in that accent now.
I think it's the mustache. It's channeling.
Yeah, it's channel and like the little goatee.
The little goatee.
Yeah, this is all the facial hair he grows.
Yeah, that's true.
This is it. This is like you haven't shaved in like a week.
Well, I shaved the sides just now just to look at my best. But I honestly hadn't shaved in over a week, and you couldn't tell the difference. Like, honestly, on camera, you would not know that like, you would think I'm doing this deliberately.
We were getting
and it is
asked
not the case.
if Sharon is a Skrull, and I actually had that thought.
Really?
Yeah, I did have that thought. I'm like, like a bad Skrull, because they're gonna do Skrull invasion, and I was like,
secret invasion doesn't necessarily have to be Skrull bad guys. I already was really happy that they had shifted the Skrulls to a more sympathetic
But there could be bad Skrulls
group.
and good Skrulls.
Why?
Just to make it more complicated.
I mean, it does make it more complicated, and there honestly should be bad Skrulls and good Skrulls and whatnot, and I get that. But they're already refugees looking for their own homeworld, and Captain Marvel has gone and gotten them their own homeworld, and now they're living and happy in their
Except
homeworld.
for like the 6 that are hanging out.
Yeah, we've got a few that are here protecting and saving the day. Captain Marvel's an Terran? She is from Earth, and she has
They call them Terrans.
found a place for the Skrulls. Why are there bad Skrulls now attacking Earth after they're like principal person who they all felt like, this person has literally brought redemption and salvation to our people? I don't honestly think so.
But that was in the 90s. It's been like 30 years.
Why can't Secret Invasion also be LMDs?
That would be cool.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
That's not what this show's about. This show's about this scene here.
Be cool to have Steve come back, but as an LMD. Let's have Steve come back as an LMD. LMD. That'd be cool.
Why is Harley shooting Sharon here?
She doesn't like the power broker because she's been threatening her all season. Maybe.
It doesn't matter, because immediately after this is my worst scene, and that's actually where the Lincoln quote scene happens. Is immediately after this.
I didn't keep that. Yeah.
Why bother? Let's move on.
Yeah.
Like, why does
Bucky likes John Walker now? No.
Yeah.
Seems out of character.
Question, how did they take over the app?
And
I answered that
you bumped your mic again.
I did.
He's drunk.
Also, this cable is very fragile, and I probably should swap it out for a better one.
Oh.
Anyway, my apologies. I should be back now.
Yes.
Mic your mic, Kyle. Hey, you mic your mic.
Are we just gonna do French impressions now?
Apparently.
Okay, Batroc is like, rubs don't make the man.
Batroc is like, he's dying out on the floor. He's like, hey, why you shoot the Sharon? I don't understand. But I'm Watto.
You turned into Watto.
Anyway, I just back to this. So Carly dies. Carly's death is solely to serve Sam's story.
Boo!
Yeah, boo! You should not use secondary characters that have, especially B-level characters, to service the A-level story. The A-level story should be able to service itself without any sacrifice on a B-level character's story. Like, that's good storytelling. Anyway, Carly's dead, so let's make Captain America look like an angel. And I honestly...
Well, so I'm a big fan of Pieta. Like when we have the Pieta pose, which is, pity.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a big fan of it. It is a wonderful superhero moment. It is glorious to see Sam in this situation and see him as an angel, and also see him having pity for his enemy. That is a massively cool thing to have done.
Yeah.
But I don't feel fulfilled by Carly's death. I also don't feel like it was like valuable in any sense of the word. I actually hope she's still alive because she's a super soldier.
Wouldn't that be delightful if she was?
I hope she's still alive.
There should be more.
Okay, put that out in the universe. Carly is still alive.
Carly Morgenthau is still alive, and she will become the new, whatever the global version of
because
the
Aaron Kellyman is like amazing. And like, how can you kill a super soldier by just shooting her in the gut? And Sharon. I call her Karen.
I did that too, and it's because Carly and Sharon becomes Karen.
Right.
If you mix Carly and Sharon together, would have a Karen.
Yeah.
I want that to happen because we're not going to get any more Enfys Nest. That's like, we're not getting Solo 2. That's not happening. And because of that, please let Carly still be alive. Please. I mean, Steve recovered from worse.
I mean, like people have recovered from worse.
Yes.
Like Sharon was like had the same shot in the stomach.
Yeah.
Like
Can we get her back? Because I want to see her.
Yeah.
She is a valuable face. And
she was super
type,
interesting.
and she's a small person who is, like people who are under average height deserve superheroes too.
Thank you for going along with this chat that Sharon has become a Karen.
Sharon is a Karen. That's funny. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time. We've seen the beautiful moment, and it is about to be.
Okay, fine.
It is
death
about
count?
to be. No, not death count.
Oh.
I think it is about to be added onto by what is one of my favorite monologues of all time.
Yes.
That no one interrupts.
Yeah, except for the senator douche guy.
So weird. I'm sorry,
yeah.
but if you've ever conversed with a politician before in your entire life, they're just waiting for a small gap in your speech to jump in with their well-formulated and crafted thought. That's how politicians work. That's literally why people speak in run-on sentences in order to not be cut off. And this speech has so many lengthy pauses after maybe 5 words that not just any, but
there was
every
like
single
3 major politicians right there that they would have
interrupted him. They know the cameras are on him. And I just would have liked a moment where the senator goes, yes, but, and Sam stops him. Because that would have made it feel real. It started to feel less and less real the further it went along, because Sam got to have these lengthy pregnant pauses.
But that
just
was probably because
of
the cutting and the...
I agree.
Yeah.
Also, it's just the way the speech is written.
Yeah.
It imposes these thoughts.
I love this speech so much, though.
It's off the cuff. It's
so good.
He hasn't planned this. This is just him speaking passionately from the belly of his soul. And as a result, he's going to have these pauses as he thinks upon the next thing to say. And I would love to see anyone deliver this as an audition piece. This is an audition piece.
Oh, yeah.
Worthy thing. I mean, I would never do it, but because I am not.
You talk a lot about
I'm not
audition
a black
pieces.
Captain America. I mean, like, because you look at these things as this sort of from this perspective, like and I'm an actor, so I would think, how would I deliver this? And I kept thinking, why aren't people cutting Sam off, especially Senator D-Bag? Does he ever get a name, or is he just Senator?
He's Senator D-Bag.
Maybe that's his last name. His name is Senator. Senator S. Senator. Anyway.
We're shooting ahead to Mobius and Mobius in
other than the fact that this speech has way too many pauses in it for something that would realistically be allowed by the preponderance of political people in front of him. This is a brilliant moment.
I love it. Yeah,
in TV. This is the climax of the
show. I didn't cry, but I did get like choked up because. Yeah, I don't think that except for Peggy's funeral, we've never gotten like a moment quite like this. Yep. And that was Sharon that gave that moment, which is so interesting. Like, because Steve was not known for speeches.
No.
And
I mean, he gave moments.
Yeah, no, he gave moments, but this is like a speech, and it was televised, and it was
I should have clocked how long it was. Yeah. It was such a long speech, but it was like, it's kind of what the MCU 616 world needed.
Yeah.
Like, they really needed someone wearing the stars and stripes to stand up and say what needs to happen and how the world needs to view not only black sacrifices that have gone on for over 400 years and what has led to now a black Captain America and how motivational and powerful that representative is, but also how the world was forever changed by a mad purple titan who snapped his fingers, and how now everyone is back. Not everyone, let's be honest. There were people in planes that crashed and died as a result of that. We lost a lot of people that day, and their sacrifice, their loss is not mentioned. But there's so many powerful moments in this speech that are relevant not only to us, but relevant to the people of that universe.
Yeah. And it's it's like really, really important that we take a step forward and start to be like, hey, this is America. Like, much like that Childish Gambino song. Like, we need to change how we view everything. And we need to incorporate not only all of our trauma and all of our, like, the bad things that happened, but also the hope of what things could be. And,
and what more powerful way than to have it in a guy wearing a brand new superhero costume that's doubtlessly riding up the crotch in glasses.
Like, that costume doesn't breathe. It's Wakandan. I'm sure it breathes.
I'm sure it breathes. I mean, it has to.
Yeah.
It's Wakandan. I just love the fact that everything he's wearing and carrying to represent America is Wakandan.
Whoa. Deep.
Right? Like,
everything.
Everything in America is built on the backs of those from Africa, because that was the labor that was used to produce and build those things. You look at the Brooklyn Bridge, and that was built preponderously and through the sacrifice of lives. The railroads as well were all built on the backs of those who are immigrants too, and we need to recognize. And that's part of this speech that you may not even see as you're listening or hear as you're listening to it, and why this speech deserves to be the climax of this show.
It was, though.
Right? We don't get a final, defeating of the bad guy. The bad guy literally dies in a 3-way shootout where only 2 people had guns, right? The bad guy's gone, right? John Walker isn't the bad guy. He tries to save the day and fails, and Captain America has to save the day. So our climax, if you are plotting the arc of this, is this speech right here, where Captain America gets to have his say and no one gainsays him.
Yeah,
and
which is important.
And that's a new step for MCU.
Yeah.
Like, even in WandaVision, the final conflict is between Agatha and Wanda.
Yeah.
Right? We don't get that here. This is the climax.
And as much as, like, this show had some issues, I would watch it again just for the speech.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing this down the road. We're lucky our son hasn't watched the last 2 episodes, so I'm looking forward to watching the whole thing again. What's funny is that I haven't wanted to bring myself to... I've watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision again, and then I stopped. And it's like, because I love it so much, I want the second viewing to be just as impactful and powerful, and I know it will be. I kind of want to save it.
Well, I want to save it until I know Wanda's going to be on screen again, or Vision's going to be on screen again. That's a good point. And then I'll rewatch it.
Let's do it. I'd be excited about it. Yeah.
But this one, like, I'm excited for phase 4. Like, even with how rough this episode was, and the season itself had a lot of problems, just construction wise. But I mean, I give it a pass because anything that had to stop during COVID gets a pass. But then we get this, like, hey, Bucky is like, you did good, kid.
Or even better, it's like, I don't know, I kind of stopped listening after you said you were wearing the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, I love that. And then we get the Sharon Bucky.
I had a text that was more important.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's their relationship, right?
But also relevant to the phone that he's carrying, and the like, oh my God. Even if it's a throwaway line, it still bears relevancy to the fact that he's got the Flag Smasher's phone.
Yes. And then, we get the Sharon, Bucky, Sam moment, which was great.
Oh, man. People are so excited for this Sharon Bucky moment where he, like, because I think it's just a Sebastian Stan thing where he likes to touch people on the back.
He touches everybody on the back.
He just touches them on the back because he does that to Sharon here, too. As they turn to leave, he touches her on the back.
Everybody ships everybody with Bucky. Well, everybody ships everybody with Bucky, and we want to see an enemies to lovers thing.
Oh, just as an actor's point, it's really important for you to touch your fellow actor. I know that we live in a world where we don't touch each other, but it's an American problem where you don't touch people and you keep your arms within, like, this weird box around you, and you don't move your arms in normal moves. So, like, do the Sebastian Stan thing and touch your co-stars, and it'll make you feel that much more relatable.
Prep before and say, I'm going to touch you in the scene.
Yeah. This is where we're going to be, and these are the things I might do, but I want to make sure that I am
Your hair's been bothering me.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad it's fixed. I was going for as much Winter Soldier as I could.
I never shipped Sharon with Cap?
No, the laundry scene seemed weird, and now I know why.
Like, is she his uncle? Is that what's going on? Great uncle?
Yeah. Yes.
Great Aunt Peggy?
Aunt Peggy meant that he was Uncle Steve.
But I mean, they weren't related.
Wouldn't be biologically related.
No, but still weird.
It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. But then
the climax has happened, honey.
Random dude in suit is like, we need you, Captain America. And it's like,
I like that guy.
Okay, but like, okay, so
I like that guy. He was good.
We'll get to it with the like.
The other super soldier's still underwater. Do you think you could resolve that?
Yeah.
I got you, buddy.
Okay, but then the One World, One People, like, so the people get like put into the paddy wagon to be like sent off to the raft. They're like, you're going to the raft, and Zemo before knows what's happening, and so sends his butler to go and blow up the vehicle.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, this show has been about two people, Captain America and Winter Soldier. Right? And so now that we've got this middle moment, we've seen Sam. Sam has climbed into his own, put on the suit, and he has accepted the fate and his duty to be Captain America, that he is the best person, and Steve was right in this choice.
Yes.
So I will accept that this is where my life is leading, and I'm the right person for the job. We didn't get that for Bucky yet. So this scene serves as a counterpoint moment to separate that, so we can get the resolution for the other part of the story.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so nobody gets to go to the raft.
No one goes to the raft.
No.
Oh, and by the way, so with this explosion, I moved past this. This should be the announcement of death count. Okay. Death count. Are you ready for death count? How many people died? Any
death
guesses?
Count.
Any guesses on the number of deaths?
16.
Are you
10?
Who are you thinking died in this episode?
I just think random
16?
people
Actually,
that were on.
It was very clearly articulated that very few people died. There are 9 deaths.
Okay.
Potentially, maybe not even 9.
Okay.
9 deaths. 4 of which are those super soldiers killed by Butler Zemo. I don't even remember his name, but Butler Zemo sounds good. Right? Like we should go with Butler Zemo.
Yes. Okay.
Butler Zemo, 6 deaths.
Okay.
Because the 4 super soldiers, and I'm pretty sure there were 2 people in the front.
Yeah.
Now the explosion, as you can see here, does generally actually show just the back of the vehicle. Maybe those 2 people lived. But if they lived, they are definitely not living the same life they had beforehand, and I think he should be held accountable for that. So
they're on long-term disability.
6 deaths. The driver, the passenger, the 4 people in the back.
Okay.
6 deaths.
Yep.
Everyone else in the episode is killed by Sharon Carter.
Wow.
3 deaths by Sharon Carter. Wow. 3 deaths. She first kills Lennox. Then she kills Batroc. Then she kills Carly. 3 deaths on her hands. And then we see the explosion that kills 6 people. So if we have to assume that they were dead. And we're told they died later. And we kind of go, oh no. But literally, we watch her kill 3 people. And we watch them die on screen.
What is the Sokovian version of Jeeves?
Butler Zemo.
Butler Zemo.
Yeah. Butler Zemo.
People are like, they should call him Jeeves. It's Jeeves Zemo.
Yes. Yeah. And somebody also made mention that, yes, it's true that Americans are not the only people that don't act by touching people. That's fair. Canadians don't either. I only have that experience in my belt.
Japanese people, right?
No, they're actually a little bit more touchy, especially on stage, than they are not. Yeah.
Really?
They're much more
like
touchy
when you lived there?
Yeah, when I lived there.
They touched you a lot?
No, that seemed weird, but no. And I think that's just our North American quality of like, they touched you a lot, making that sound weird. So, anyway.
Yes.
And
then we get like this shot of Zemo hanging out in the raft with his...
So weird.
Yeah. It's fine.
Anyway, it's time. Bring it back to us for a moment.
Peggy is very disappointed at... What is that in your hand?
I know. It's time. So it's time for we've gotten to the point where we've had a bunch of stuff already happen. And so now
I've drunk so much.
So now it's time for us to do it's the end of the night. Hey, bar's almost closing. Let's all do bar's closing, but we got to get a final round in, right? Like, let's do that. So nothing better than a big old shot of Jägermeister, because that's what idiots do at the end of a show. No! So that's what we're going to do, because this is a bro show, and that's what bros do. So
I'm so looking forward to Loki.
Yeah,
like with our plans.
I'm so sad that they didn't have a smaller bottle at the liquor store, because
you bought a huge thing of Jägermeister.
Yeah, no, really showed it off.
I do not like Jägermeister.
Yeah, well, maybe you do now. I don't know. Here is yours.
It's so dark and gross.
Yeah, and here is mine.
Oh,
and
it smells like I don't know, mouthwash.
It's a botanical, based on our gently extracted botanical essence, matured in oak to harmonize the herbal liqueur. So it isn't a fruity liqueur, it's a herbal liqueur. It means it is a little bit more potent and savory.
At least it's not absinthe, which made me make puke mud once.
So Boilermakers and Jägermeister are really the way to end off Falcon and the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So let's do our shots of Jägermeister, because that's what we typically do. Clink, chin chin. Here's to you, here's to us. This is the sacrifice we're willing to make as we cough syrup our way out of this show.
It tastes like cough syrup. It really does. It tastes like cough syrup mixed with mouthwash. What the hell?
Oh, I didn't find it all that bad. It's very floral. Ooh.
Oh.
Did you know it's made with 56 different ingredients?
Why is there a cross on it?
I don't know.
And a deer.
A cross and a deer. I think that's what it's made of. Yeah. Christianity and hunting. And then they pour that into an oak barrel and they mature it for however long.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
It's pretty potent. We're going to be quite drunk. That's why I told you to save some beer.
No, I didn't.
For later.
I'm going to need a sip of yours. It's going to stay in my... Okay, thank you.
So, there we are. You would think the show should be done. And I kind of paused the show at this point, the show is done, right? But there was still a whole bunch of time left.
This is 30 minutes.
Well, it's actually more like 40.
But there was still a whole thing.
Yeah,
okay.
A montage. Literally a redemption montage.
But first we get
this
I moment.
Forgot. I'm so glad we drank, and now I get to watch this, because why is this happening here? I told you at the top of this that the setting is also an additional character that can be related to and interacted with. And this is the weirdest moment ever. Go in the back where all of the senators get to gather before they come out and change into your new clothes. Go be naked over there while we sit in the chairs where you were tried and convicted and given a not honorable discharge. Moment.
It's black.
This is full of not honorable discharge is really what this is.
You get to wear a black costume now. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. John should be as drunk as we are right now.
I know, right? And then he calls her Val to her face.
She's like, "Don't call me that."
Yeah, I know. I love that moment. And then he goes like this. "I will not do so, of course, sir." What?
You think, what?
Why did he? Because again, he is disrespectful and he thinks he's always right.
Except for with Val.
It's black.
I don't understand.
Did they think this was a moment?
Black. I don't understand.
Actually, I couldn't tell because of the way the light was glancing in. If it was black or blue anyway, I wouldn't have known. It's black.
No, they had to tell us because we couldn't tell.
It's black.
Why are you saying it like that?
Because he said it like that.
I know.
He was just, it's like he went out, he was thinking it while he put it on, and then he went and said it 3 times while he was out there. The
script is the script, and yeah, they may have made this choice to have him change in Congress or wherever this trial originally happened, but literally it's his trial and Sharon's pardon happens in the same location as this.
Yeah.
And And
Sharon's pardon is about to happen in the same location.
Like, they could have done it in a house and it would have made more sense. Like, oh, you get to try on your new costume at your house. Val went to
I know
his house, or even the like locker room would have made more sense.
I know,
I
right?
accept fine COVID.
It's so weird. Also, I just realized I really have a face for podcasting nowadays with my long hair, facial hair, tired expression.
You do.
I love how everyone in the chat's like, not Jägermeister, don't drink it straight. What's wrong with you people? Hey, give it to me, says Zach. We'll gladly take it because we lacks that stuff. What's wrong with you people? That's weird, weird liquor to drink for fun.
We get a few minutes of Bucky redemption / reintegration of his shadowed self, where he accepts
the shadowed self.
Yeah,
that's nice.
His Winter Soldier actions. We get a few moments of that, speaking with Yori, telling him the truth, giving him exactly what happened, and copping to it fully, and like being like, you know, as the Winter Soldier, I had no choice, but I killed your son.
Yeah.
And then of course that the list had been completed to the psychologist who didn't deserve anything. She shouldn't have gotten anything, but fine, give her a gift bag.
The gift bag only had the book in it, so it's really not much of a gift. And a card, yeah, which was just like, hey doc, I did this. I just wished that the Nori scene was longer.
Yeah, no, that it should have been longer.
I didn't understand why. I mean, Sam got 1.5 minutes, but Bucky doesn't get more than 30 seconds of talking. Like, we understand that he's reticent to talk anyway, but this is the moment where he gets to really explain, and I just would have liked that. And I know Sebastian Stan has got that in him. Yeah. So where is that editing room floor scene? Because I'm pretty sure you shot it.
Yeah.
And I think we deserved it. And I think that Bucky's story deserved that moment.
This is a streaming platform. There is no limit on length of show.
Yeah. Mic drop. Slap.
Right? Yeah. No, I wanted to see Sebastian Stan cry. Give me his tears.
Also, we're not really clear whether Nori accepted him.
Oh, no, we don't know.
But
he told him.
He walks by later and Nori doesn't get to see. Like, I understand that. Does he need forgiveness? No, he needs to forgive himself. It wasn't him making the choices of those actions. He was literally being controlled in a Manchurian Candidate, right? He didn't get to control those things. He was being controlled. And he is moving past that and searching for a way to make amends for actions that he's not even responsible for. That's tough.
Yeah. It was...
But he's the only one with the knowledge. And his keeping of that knowledge is causing harm to this other individual. So he needs to pass on that information, even though it may color the way that he is being viewed. But it would have been nice to see the response from that actor, because I think it was probably really good. And I think it was a brilliant moment of acting that we just didn't get to see.
People are saying that the mouse limits us, i.e. Disney, but the limit is artificial.
Yep. I paid for my Disney Plus. Paid you money for that scene.
They can make a show 9 episodes, or they can make it 6 episodes. It's all artificial. It doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. It's however. I actually think about that these days, and I wondered like how much the writers of the 80s and 90s are mad at the writers of today. Like we had 22 minutes and 17 seconds. I had to cut 5 seconds off an episode, which meant I cut one of the more important moments of my sitcom in order to fit it according to what my producers told me I was allotted to have. And you get to do whatever you want?
Well, okay,
Where's that scene?
So wasn't it us that were like, back when in the Netflix like Marvel show days, we're like, there's too many episodes. They're not doing enough with
Nothing
them.
was
Oh
happening
my
in
God,
those
what is
episodes.
going on? So have they refined it? I feel like there's some sort of balance between Netflix Marvel and like Disney Marvel that hasn't been reached yet. Yeah.
Because there were some episodes of like, not necessarily Daredevil, but Luke Cage felt
Luke
like,
Cage,
was that a necessary episode?
Well, also,
And like all of Iron Fist.
Oh,
Just the whole thing. Was that necessary? I mean, I know you needed the Defenders, but
like
really?
they could have chosen a different Defender.
They didn't really do anything.
They could have made the Defenders with Shang-Chi. That would have been cooler. Anyways.
All that to be said, it is neat to think that we used to be predicated on the requirements of 30-minute programming because the next show is going to be starting any moment, and now we don't get that anymore because the next show is literally the same show because they dropped them all at the same time. Or now I get to move on to Invincible because however long I spent on Bucky and Sam.
Bucky and Sam show?
The Bucky and Sam show.
I'm so drunk.
What a title that would have been. The Bucky and Sam show.
So let's talk about Isaiah Bradley. I accidentally went to the credits momentarily because I'm that drunk.
How much time has passed? And how much power does Sam actually have? Because Sam changed an entire wing of a museum and had a bronze sculpture made of young Isaiah Bradley.
It's not that easy to get stuff.
Like, that would have taken like 2 years of production for a bronze sculptor to make that.
For the Smithsonian moves so slow. It's in the Smithsonian.
I'm so confused. How much time has actually passed? It didn't seem like any time at all. And yet there's this statue.
In enough time that Far From Home has passed. And
it's the end of the summer.
Yeah.
That guy literally rushed that as quickly as he could. He's like, you want me to do this from a photograph?
Well, it's because he doesn't look as good.
I don't even know how tall that guy was. Let alone make him.
I mean, I really love what is written here, so I tried to get it as big a screenshot as possible.
Already, as much as, like, this scene is powerful.
Yeah, it's super good.
It's so powerful.
I don't mean to giggle, I'm just really drunk.
It gives us resolution to the Isaiah Bradley piece, to think that, yeah, you know what? Sam has the ability to say, no, your story can be told.
Yeah.
And it needs to be told.
These things can coexist. Captain America, Steve, who was my friend, can coexist with you, Isaiah Bradley, Captain America.
This is the Captain America memorial.
Yeah.
Steve was not the only Captain America.
Yeah, and this is important. Yeah.
And I hope you take the time to read the memorial piece. It really is just a re-encapsulation of all the things that they've said happened during the show.
Mm-hmm.
So you already know the story already. But now everyone in the MCU knows that too. And it's neat to see that come out on the Friday in advance of the Chauvin George Floyd verdict that was rendered.
Yeah.
And see that, yes, progress can be made. And that we can acknowledge that this happened and this is important, and
it's just like one piece, but it's also going to be a long battle towards towards the future, right? I think that's really really important. Like this isn't the end, this is the beginning.
It's not the beginning. The beginning has been going on for a long time, but we are still moving down the path. Progress is being made, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's nice to see that being reflected in a Marvel.
Our fiction is
Disney
important,
TV show.
But not always the way that people think it is. It's not necessarily what people's fictional tastes are, but it's also what is reflected in our fiction. Our fiction is more of a reflection of who we are than necessarily what we like, or a reflection of ourselves. What we like in our fiction.
I can't feel my face. You want to finish that?
How drunk do you want me before the end? We're not even done.
I know, but we'll get there.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I really can't feel my face.
I can't feel my face either.
My face is gone. Maybe I'll just sip Jägermeister from the bottle for the rest of the episode.
No.
No, okay, I won't do that.
Okay.
We're almost there.
Uncle
it's almost
Bucky.
gotten there.
We really loved Uncle Bucky, right?
Oh my god. Yes, this is that moment.
He has home. He has a home.
I want to point out that if you watch this scene with the subtitles, he says, "Where's everybody at?"
Yeah.
Because, like, he's making a joke about the fact that there's not a lot of family here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, like, the place is full of people. It's crowded. And
he brings the cake. He brings a cake.
He brings the cake.
Who brings a cake? The awesome uncle brings a cake. And he's the awesome uncle now. And then we get this amazing moment where he's holding the kids, and we talked about this one.
Make it big. They don't need to see us. They want to see this.
Yeah.
They want to hear you gush in the same way that Sarah does.
Same, Sarah. Same. Absolutely same.
Mm-hmm. I love the fact that it's like it's one of Sarah's sons and another kid, and they're all just hanging off the arm.
And he's just standing there like nonchalantly. You're like, how did they do that?
And all I'm picturing is like the work of the bar that's run over top of his arm, down his pant leg, through his shirt, down his pant leg, and out the other side, so that you can just hold them there forever because they're literally just hanging off the bar.
Yeah. You were like, how did they do this? You're like thinking about you were practically drew me pictures like how they do this. Like, how did they do this? Yeah. The whole thing with Sarah like looking up at him. Mm-hmm. Oh God, I love.
Oh, this is just I love how you put
so
same
much.
Sarah same there, because she definitely looks up to Bucky, and she appreciates Bucky and likes him a great deal.
Yes, and like he looks so happy. I needed this in my life.
Oh, they released stills of them sitting and eating dinner that wasn't in the episode, says Amanda. And I would have loved that scene too. There are scenes in here that I wish that they had cut in favor of the more of the denouement. I got enough denouement to feel like they spent enough time with these people to show that they have grown and they have changed. And this story and everything that has led up to it has had an impact on their lives.
Yeah.
And because of the choices that they've made, they have grown and changed and developed. And we can see the happiness of Bucky in having let go of his Winter Soldier past to move on.
And the acceptance of Sam.
The acceptance of Sam in the role that he was passed on to when he was given the shield by Steve. That, you know what? You're the right guy for the job. You're not only the right guy for the job, even if you're not a super soldier.
You're the person we need. Because
you think in the moment, you plan ahead, and you converse with the people around you, and you're good at what you do, and you're the right guy. You're what we need.
And like seeing Bucky happy, like we got a little taste of that before in episode 5, but like seeing this was just so wonderful.
Yep.
And then we get this like
I shed a tear here.
Yeah, because
when it changed
you cry
from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I was like, that's what you were showing us.
Yeah, I know.
I could cry now. It was
good. I loved it. And like there was a bunch of memes like a Captain America and the Winter Soldier and then Captain America, and showing like how Steve or how Bucky looks at Steve versus Sam, and like how like all of that. And I just appreciate the character development that they ended up achieving in this show, regardless of the bumps.
I just wish that they'd gotten that one half a step further, so that it wasn't Captain America and the Winter Soldier, because he's not the Winter Soldier anymore. Like, that wasn't that part of the story that you're telling us? Is that you're saying he's not the Winter Soldier? Why did you reinforce that at the end? Why didn't you say Captain America and Sergeant Barnes?
Or the White Wolf.
The White Wolf. Why didn't we get that moment? And I just, maybe COVID, I don't know what it was, but it felt like that's why you did the bolding and unbolding the way you did, is to give us that moment. And yet,
I don't know. Maybe it's because the Winter Soldier will be in Black Widow.
Maybe.
That would be cool. I'd love it.
Either way,
Are you giving me this beer to finish?
Finish it off.
I don't think I can.
Finish it off
Okay.
while we finish this off, because the credits are rolling and it's time for our patented Marvel MCU post-credit scene. Stick around, watch all these names. They're relevant and important people, and we want you to sit and read those names and think about it, and think about the show that just happened, because we're going to give you a taste and a teaser of some sort of end moment. What a moment.
Okay. Good for her.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I mean, she's been through so much.
That's what I thought.
I know.
Good for her. I don't care how many terrible secrets she steals and how many things she sells to the highest bidder. She deserves it.
It's super interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're saying. Like, let's tell more of this story. And I'm happy that they've set her up as whatever she is, regardless of the Carly killing.
She's earned it.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that she's the murderer of this episode. I mean, she really killed it the whole entire time, too. But, like, it's hers.
Yeah. I'm interested in the story regardless of the fact that she is Peggy's niece.
Yeah.
And she was a good person before. I think this gives, like, tons of interest to our character. And I'm really excited to see where they go with this.
It also does a great job of setting her up in opposition to Val.
Yeah, which is really interesting because Val is like coded as a villain.
Yeah,
like they really code her as a villain. Purple, like hair,
saying
and, like,
one thing meaning another, then saying the thing and, that like, she really meant.
Switching back and forth between like call me Val but don't call me Val and like all of that. Really, really interesting. So, people pointing out that she might be a Skrull, cool too. I don't know. We'll see.
Think so. I don't want that to be the case, because then you're taking away the authority and the motivation.
Agency,
the agency of Agent 13. Like, you need to give Sharon Carter her space to breathe because of what you have set up for her. Mm-hmm. Right? She
deserves to have her whole like glory. Like, I'm evil.
Yeah.
I like
not
money.
Just evil. I've been burned by you.
Yeah.
And you think that this little...
and this is my way to be the power.
How nice for you. We're giving you back your old position, and we're completely, wiping away the things that... She's like, it's been over 5 years. You would have thought that they would have done that 5 years ago. But no, you wouldn't do that. You made me an enemy of the state because I did the right thing in opposition to you. You said Steve and Sam were bad people, and I said, no, they're not. And now I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to show you that I did the right thing then, and I'll do the right thing now, which is weird because she killed Batroc, she killed Lennox, and she killed Carly. So I'm kind of worried about that, but at the same time, like, good for her. And I hope she gets all of the power that she deserves to have, because I'm kind of tired of women being constantly killed off or shown to be crazy or removed from power, because women can't hold or have power for any length of time without completely falling apart.
It's stupid.
Maybe I should just write something.
We should write something.
Yeah,
that's what. Okay, so I did a new I don't know, power chart, relationship chart.
This is intense.
It's intense. And I added in Sword in there because I was like, hey, Sword's still a thing.
I like how Sam and Bucky are together.
Well, they have to be.
Friends.
They're friends.
Partners?
And partners.
No, not partners.
Co-workers. Yeah. Co-workers. And we have the U.S. military / government unsure of what is in charge.
The GRC seems to definitely get to dictate to USA military and government what to do. So I like the way you've organized that arrow there. I like the X between GRC and Flag Smashers. That's relevant. The GRC seems to be an overarching group.
They can do anything according to Sam.
That gets to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And the Flag Smashers stand in opposition to that. So they're literally the oppositional sides of each other. And at the end of this, we've seen, and I would have liked to have seen you put Sam and Bucky kind of between those two. And then we do have Power Broker there, who seems to have initiated the Flag Smashers. Power Broker seems to have kicked off this, oh no, these 8 people now have my super serum Super Soldier Serum. I always have trouble saying that. And Power Broker is now trying to take power from all other groups
and distribute that elsewhere.
Yeah, distribute it in a way that makes them money. I totally get it. Go Sharon. Sword, I think you could have put them on the other side of the USA military.
They seem to relate it to that. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't know yet, so I didn't want to commit.
And then it's like Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, Contessa. Question mark to the USA military government. I would think the question mark might also be to Sword too, because I think she has a part to play with them.
We'll see.
I don't know. And yeah, she definitely seems to be the superior to Captain John Walker, U.S. agent.
They're definitely deciding to
You should have definitely crossed out Battlestar there. He's definitely not part of this anymore.
Oh, did I keep him on there?
Battlestar's still there.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Robot Battlestar.
They'll bring him back.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, so that's my new list.
Zemo would have been good to include in that because he definitely seems to still has. He's still there.
He's off in the corner. He's under Wakanda. Yeah. I just don't know what he's going to be, right? Like they're laying the groundwork for stuff. Valentina's going to have a thing going on in Phase 4, but who knows, right? So
well, the bigger you make and lay your foundation, the taller your pyramid can be. The problem is if you lean it one way to the side or the other, it becomes like a leaning tower of Pisa or a Jenga tower, and it begins to start to topple. And the worry for the MCU in World 616, and now that they're introducing a multiverse, is that you laid enough foundation to build the pyramid you want, and how far forward in time do you go? To harken back to my Malcolm Spellman talk where he says, a movie is generally you lay the foundation, you build the tower, and you have your little pyramid standing there in its own piece in time. And a TV show continues to lay a foundation and stretch forward, continuing with foundation all the way along if you're doing a construction project. That way they don't have to build too high because they build along. Like they're building train cars.
Do you think that's what they're doing with the MCU shows?
In the MCU.
Because they're definitely doing that with the directors, right? Like they're giving them like trial runs almost.
Yep.
Or the directors and the writers, they're giving them trial runs in the shows and then giving them like writing debuts in the movies.
In the MCU, structurally for storytelling purposes, they build a foundation to build up from it. Mm-hmm. And then they
interconnect like a web.
The next thing that they build is another foundational step aside that they can then build a little bit taller for. So they try never to build too tall in an episode, right? Like in a show, because if they build too tall, it becomes a little bit more untenable. There's a board game called Animal Upon Animal, where you start with a crocodile on a log, and you then have a series of animals, wooden animals, that you would lay on top of the crocodile. And in a normal movie, you're putting things on top of the crocodile and hoping it doesn't fall over. And in bad movies, which don't have very good, structural integrity, they fall over, and you can see that. MCU has laid the crocodile, but then there's a roll of the dice that allows you to lay something next to the crocodile. That's touching the crocodile, but not upon it. And then you can put animals on top of that, and it allows you to build an even broader, more like longer structural piece that allows you to build the pyramid on top.
I've had too much alcohol for this analogy.
I really feel like the MCU is putting flamingos and porcupines and whatnot next to the crocodile, that they can allow them to lay giraffes and hippopotamuses and other things. And I understand that no one in chat has probably ever played Animal Upon Animal or listening to this.
It's a German board game.
But this is a brilliant board game for kids and great for manual dexterity and thinking about repercussions. Because when you're putting things on top of something else, you need it to be supported by that which came before.
Okay.
And Marvel is doing a great job of each film building upon the crocodile on its own, but then each subsequent product that's coming out laying up next to it and laying upon. So that flamingo can be laying on top of the movies that came before.
No one's understanding you.
On now. Well, I can picture it just fine. So hopefully everyone else can. Hey, they're catching on.
No one is.
Anyway.
Okay, but shout
Put
out
animal upon animal. And you'll see it.
shout out to Danny Ramirez, who is a BTS ARMY fan. He's ARMY, and I love him. And he was like, I wish we were more like Suga, RM, and J-Hope. And I love that he was like tried to improv a BTS ARMY line in there, and he attended, of course, Madison Square Garden's BTS concert. So shout out to Danny Ramirez, who plays, of course, Torres. Yay! And then we're all done.
That's it, folks.
On to Loki.
Let's
Next.
talk a little bit about what you think about the overall element of the show. How was this show overall for you?
It struggled at moments. It felt oddly constructed, and it definitely but yet the good things like really shone. You know, like the moments with Bucky, especially moments with Sam, Sam's exemplary situation really, really was wonderful.
Yeah. So I was talking to my friend while we were playing disc golf earlier.
Okay.
And I said, this show did a great job of building the story for its lead characters, Sam and Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
But it did a terrible job of every B character in the show.
Oh.
I did not feel like any of them got a good story arc that made sense, a through line that actually told us something or gave us something to think about, and could have been tighter, better, and more interwoven into the stories of our A characters, Bucky and Sam. And that's it.
Yeah. It just struggled with what it was, I think, and how much of a bite into real world issues it was trying to consume. And it in the end it wanted us to look at that moment at the end and say it's Captain America and the Winter Soldier and agree.
Yes.
And it was successful in that.
Absolutely.
Which was good. That all being said, it just makes me desire weird MCU that much more based on what we got with WandaVision and now this. I'm like, yeah, give me Loki. Give me time and reality weirdness. Give me variant Loki.
Yeah.
I
also wanted to say this show suffered from having been the follow-up to WandaVision.
Oh, yeah.
If it had come
been
out
first
before WandaVision, wow. I would
Wow,
have been like,
yeah.
oh my God, look what they can do.
But then WandaVision would have been like, oh my God. And then Loki, it
absolutely.
definitely struggled with that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would totally recommend you watch this show. This is worthwhile viewing. Great social commentary, great plot. Somewhat weird at times, especially all of the Zemo stuff seemed to not pay off at all.
But like
it was
people
good.
loved Zemo.
Yep.
Like they put him in and he was like the devil on people's shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like that's what he was. And like Bucky ended up agreeing with him. Sam ended up being like, no, Zemo, he's evil.
Yeah, absolutely. So weird.
Yeah.
Zemo's fit into the show seemed weird in the end when it was like, was he relevant? Did he do anything for the group other than kill a couple of super soldiers? Not really, but that's it for me.
Yeah. I want to thank everyone for coming along in this journey. We've had the regular group of crew who've shown up every single chat as we've done this, and it's been really, really wonderful. Again, we'll be back in a month and a half for these sorts of shows for the MCU when Loki comes back, and I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yes. We'll be a lot less drunk, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're going to choose a different drink to do. So we've got a whole thing planned out.
Are you going to announce it or no?
No, I'm going to announce it shorter,
Sounds
closer to to when the show will come out. But if you're missing our voices for whatever reason, you can always check out What the Force, where we will be covering Bad Batch like we did with Clone Wars, season 7.
Yep.
Are you excited?
It's going to be weird. I am going to hate it, and I'm going to love talking to you about it.
Don't hate it. Come in with the right attitude and be like, I will accept it.
I'm going to hate loving it.
But you're going to love it?
I'm going to hate it, but I'm going to love talking about it. Because I think that there are going to be relevant things to talk about that show. And also why I think that it's completely tone deaf. So it's going to be great.
Whoa, what?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Controversial.
Lovely times ahead.
Controversial on Maine. We love you all. Thank you for coming out with us. We look forward to everything that's upcoming. And we will see you shortly.
Until next time.
Cheers.